Welcome back to Jump Scare. I'm Betty.
And I'm Shad.
And this week we've covered The Beyond, 1981.
You are Liza, aren't you?
Yes.
My name is Emily. I've been looking for you. Leave this place. $60 ago, everybody in this hotel disappeared. Every last person. A painter called Spike, who lived here, closeted in his room, had found a key.
Tell me, with all those accidents, you think you'll give it up now?
I couldn't do that if I wanted to. Well, I won't give in.
Fulci's The Beyond.
Yeah, there's you should always specify Fulci because that way you know what you're getting.
Exactly. This is part of his trilogy, Gates of Hell, with The House by the Cemetery.
And City of the Living Dead.
Part of it, which I vaguely remember seeing House by the Cemetery. I've never seen the other one.
Yeah, I don't think I've seen the other one either. The Italian horror is kind of one of the ones where I'm not real up on it.
Yeah. Yeah. So, music by Mr. Freezy.
Yes.
Fabio Freezy, who basically has collaborated with Fulci on all his films with the music for the most part.
Yep. Also a very nice guy. We met him at the Popcorn Frights a couple years ago.
We did. He was a very nice guy.
He seemed genuinely surprised that people were bringing the soundtracks for him to sign.
Yeah, he did. I was just like, how?
Yeah. He was kind of like, oh, you still like that?
You've composed this wonderful music.
But, yeah, I don't know. The reason, I guess I was never big into the Italian horror because it seems like it's either really good or really terrible. Or sometimes terrible in a good way.
It's very artistic. So either you are going to see what they're trying to see, whatever the deeper meaning is, and there may not be a lot of people that view it that same way, that how you viewed it.
Yeah.
Or it's going to be mad cheesy, because the thing about it is just there's like no holds bar with the gore. They take it to like insane fucking levels, but it's like, would it be insane if it was CGI? Because it's all practical, so you can see like the flaws and like how the tricks and how they do it.
Yeah.
When they can't afford to make it look better. It doesn't look bad per se, but the eye can tell.
Yeah, well, and of course they just do crazy shit too. Like the last Fulci one we covered was that Enigma for the snails murdered a woman.
Yes,
Snails murdered her.
If I had that
very, very slowly.
If I had that many snails on me, I would be murdered as well. It was horrifying.
Well, it's just called a heart attack. That's not a murder.
But I wouldn't have had the heart attack if they didn't put it on me. So technically, I mean, you're not intending to get murdered. You're just minding your own business. Here comes the murderer, you know.
I feel like, though, anybody that can't outrun a herd of snails probably had it coming.
She was laying in bed. Okay, anyways. So I have a question for you.
Yes.
This is where it depends on the interpretation of how you see this film.
Yes.
Is the hotel haunted which is what you think is haunted when you initially watch it, because the whole thing is that the whole beginning is like the showing how cultish these people are that live in the town that will do anything to protect like the fucking hotel, which is one of the gates of hell.
Yeah.
And
I love the part where they're whipping him with the chains. Like, how hard do you have to hit someone with a chain for him to just split open?
yes, it was
it's one of those things like, what?
it is, see, that's like an exaggerated, such an exaggeration. It's like, that's not a thing. And it's set in Louisiana, and then you fast forward to the future. A young woman has inherited the house, and she's like redecorating it, and it's going to bring it back to like a Airbnb kind of thing. It's not an Airbnb in the movie because obviously it came out in 1981, but
it was a hotel to begin with, so she's just going to renovate it and make it back into a fancy hotel again.
Fancy hotel. So that's Liza, and that whole or is it about the painting is haunted? And the painting shows you that there's this other like dimension or the afterlife, however you want to interpret that. And it's showing you where you're going to eventually end up, because the movie comes full circle, spoiler alert. And it's looked upon like 2 times in the movie, like the painting. And then in the end, they're in the painting. Like, everyone's laying down. It's, on the floor. It's very creepy. Everyone's naked. It's all white, like in a white desert or whatever.
Which, we were reading online about this, and apparently there's like bodies laying in the sand, naked people laying all over in the sand. Apparently those were homeless people if they paid in alcohol just to come strip naked and lay down in the sand.
Yeah, it sounds messy, and like I hate sand, so it's like my worst nightmare. I'm like, how bad do I need this alcohol that I'm gonna get naked? And you don't never see anyone's face. It's all artistic. It's just literally like folded down child's pose if you do yoga.
Yeah.
Pose. So she has these helpers working on the house, and wait, hold on. My question. So, hotel haunted or painting haunted?
I think the hotel is haunted. And
I wouldn't say painting haunted, but painting what I said, like a surreal open door, how you enter the gate, kind of, or what it's going to lead you to.
I think the hotel is kind of haunted. It's over the gateway to hell, so, the energy coming out of that is influencing people. So artistic people start painting kind of what they're sensing, Like when you go through the doorway, you're going to be in something that's just like the painting, because the artist that was living there that was doing the paintings was sensing what was going on without realizing it.
Okay, done. So, the help, when someone gets hurt in the movie, and the whole crazy scene of her calling for help, but she's looking right at the camera, and then right behind her is the wall with a door in it, and the guy comes through, and he's really sweaty.
Yeah.
And he's like, yes. And then she's like still talking to him, and then turns around and like addresses him. It's the fucking strangest shot ever. Like, you're looking dead. Like, she looks right at the camera. No holds barred. Like, I'm looking right in your eyeballs.
Yeah, I feel like that was kind of an editing issue that they should have taken. They maybe didn't have a shot from the other camera, and they just had to use that. But I also love in the movies when they do this, where they're like, quickly, someone call for help. And the guy comes in, looks at the guy laying on the couch, bleeding all over, and goes, he needs a doctor. No shit, Sherlock. The guy he fell off a ladder and he's got blood all over him. What did you think he needed? Did he need like an herbalist to come in and suggest a new tea for him? What did he need?
Who knows? Maybe he needed to like turn around 3 times and say like yabba yabba.
Or whatever. So do they take him to the hospital, or did we just never see that?
I don't think we ever see it.
But yeah, he went to the hospital at some point, I guess, but we never really saw it.
There's some insane deaths in the film. There's the beat with chains, then nailed, then acid clay to death. We call it acid clay because it's very thick and milky like it looks like wax is being poured on the person, like thrown at them, and then they're like
But then
melting. Or is it acid and then they're melting like a candle? Like that's
yeah, but
how...
they reached in with their hand and grabbed it and threw it on him. So I didn't understand how that happened.
It didn't affect them, but
how did it not affect them? Yeah. So maybe it was some sort of weird. I don't know on that one.
Maybe I think it was like evil wax.
Must have been, but yeah, like so. There's that
Eyeball gouge.
Oh yeah, you get an eyeball. It's a Fulci movie, so there's going to be an eyeball ripped out somewhere.
I guess we can. The tarantula death.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
The tarantulas came out and got a guy, and they ripped his lips off.
So it is the fuck no moment.
They ate his lips.
They were wax lips, ladies and gentlemen. There was no CGI.
The candy of 1,000 uses.
Moment for those. This moment was for those who like a fuck no moment for those who are terrified of any kind of creepy crawlies. There was like mixed tarantulas with fake ones. Some of them, Shad pointed out, were hopping.
Yeah, they weren't actually like they were just their legs were sticking straight out from on their belly, and then they would just flop. They just kind of flopped ahead.
They were the flop spiders.
Yeah, they were the flopulas.
Yeah, so there's, I mean, not to give to that's some of the deaths that you see. The spider thing, no, and like everything has to be mad exaggerated. We're not going to have like 5 seconds of something happening. This is going to be like 5 minutes of your life where it's just like it's happening and you cannot look away.
Spiders are ripping his lips off. They're biting out his tongue. They're ripping out his eyeballs. They're really going wild on him.
So she stumbles. I don't even remember. I think she goes to enter one of the rooms because she's checking on the rooms and whatnot. And there's a fucking blind woman, like, just there playing the piano.
No, the blind...
On the bridge.
Yeah, the blind... She sees her she's just driving and standing in the middle of the road, and she gets mad close to her before she slams the brakes on. It's like, what are you doing out here, blind woman, with your dog in the middle of a bridge? And like you do, she just takes her home, goes into her house, and hangs out, listens to her story, which consists of, your house is on the doorway to hell. You should probably move.
And she's like, I've lived in New York all my life, and I don't believe in ghosts. She does her whole, like, monologue.
Yeah, I'm from New York. I'm not scared of your hillbilly bullshit down here in Louisiana. You take your Satan and go to hell.
Then there's a jugless acid scene. It was like, how much acid is in this jug? It's like, whatever, it's just over acid jug scene.
Yeah, that was where, when eventually the blind... when she gets killed, or no, it's not when she gets killed, it's when she has a plumber that comes to work on the house, and the plumber gets murdered.
Yes.
The help does not fare well at her house. And the plumber's, it's his wife comes in to identify the body, and then she gets murdered by the endless jug of acid that pours over on her face, which there must have been 40 gallons of acid in this jug, which I don't know. Why do you just have a ginormous jug of acid sitting around in the autopsy room? Is that... Oh, fireworks. I mean, it's the end of July.
January. We're still celebrating the new year.
I guess so.
First year of the month.
But, yeah.
First month of the year, I meant to say.
Yeah, we're all screwed up on the dates here. But, I don't know why you just have this giant jug of acid in the autopsy room, but it gets spilled on the wife when she falls over, and it just eats her face off for about 3.5 minutes, it seemed like.
The plumber's family goes through a lot of hell, and then their daughter is orphaned.
Yeah, the plumber's family does not fare well.
No, and now there's an orphan, and of course, that little girl's gonna find her way into the situation that's happening in town, which is this gateway is opening up in this house.
And I was kind of unclear as, like, how did she suddenly get the creepy eyes?
Well, it said, like, didn't she pick up the book? The Ebanon?
The Ebon or whatever?
Yeah, book. And the book, like, once you look at the book, it, like, curses you. Because you've seen, like, whatever, the afterlife.
I don't remember if she picked up the book. I don't think she did.
She did something because she got the white eyes because the blind lady has the white eyes because she read the book. And then later on, What's-Her-Face gets the white eyes too when she's in the painting.
Yeah, once they all cross over into the doorway to hell, they all get the white eyes, which kind of implies that they've all seen hell at some point, which is why they all look that way.
And then they just walk off in the distance, and then the movie ends.
Yeah. This is one of those it's a very surreal thing. Like, when you're watching it, you're kind of not sure if you're dreaming or not. It's like, did I go to sleep during part of this and wake up, and this is just a dream I'm having about this fucked up movie? Or it's very strange.
Yeah, I would say, like, movies like Mandy and Daniel is in Rio and The Color of Space are kind of like the Americanized version of those Italian films with the surrealism.
Yeah, but I feel like those all make a little bit more sense than the Italian ones do, though.
They do, because they're telling you what's happening, but there's still the psychedelic aspect of it and, like, the whole different perspective, like, the you're stepping into. It just, like, it's like, oh, wow, and, like, blows your mind because you've never seen crazy shit like that before.
Yeah, like, this is the first time I've ever seen, like, that intense a tarantula attack, and I've seen, like, all the spider movies, you know?
Yeah, I would say more like, I guess modern film, the closest thing would be like The Void. And I don't know if I'd be giving that movie too much credit, but it had that feeling.
Yeah, it had a very similar ending, too, where they go through...
Like, The Void obviously has that feeling of these, you know, this movie, because obviously this movie came out first, but
yeah, I get where they come up with some ideas for The Void from this movie.
Yeah, I'd say that movie's just a whole bunch of mix of things. It's like Hellraiser meets The Thing, meets this movie.
Meets everything.
Meets times 500. Carry the one. Power to the two. Math is not my strong suit. So, yeah, I like it. I'm actually interested in finishing the trilogy, and even though we kind of started from the middle out, I don't think that it's really going to matter too much.
No, I think it'll be fine.
And we'll catch up with the other ones. We could just do this for like the rest of the year. We'll just stumble upon another Fulci movie in this trilogy. There's only 2 to go, so
it can't be too hard to find the other 2.
It's like, oh no, we couldn't find it. We give up. The end. We never know the story. Did all the gates open up? Yes or no? Who knows?
I'm gonna say they probably did not.
We should definitely watch the Houseboat Cemetery VHS that I have.
Yeah, the weird part about that is that the VHS that you've got is one of the audio description ones that's made for the blind. So I can't imagine how it's going to go. I want to see the scene where, like, you know, someone's eye is going to be ripped out, and we've got like generic narrator guy going, and now they are pulling the eyeball from the gentleman's head. They now appear to be biting into it. Gore is spurting everywhere. I want to hear that guy really do that, like, quietly and dignified. Be like, yes, now they appear that the zombies are, in fact, sexually assaulting her.
Oh, no. Why? My God, that took a grim turn. Jeez.
Well, things escalate quickly in Fulci films.
And then there's like...
You're hearing that while the guy is, like, quietly describing it. Yes, her top is off now. I can't. I don't know.
Wiggle.
Yeah, wiggle. Yeah, I don't know if we necessarily want to hear that or not.
Boing.
It's going to get crazy in this audio descriptive version, I can tell you that.
Well, we have to finish this trilogy so we can learn where the other fucking doors are. You know, what is going to be the last movie is the gate is finally open. So the horror or the gate is going to be open. I think it is finally open in the City of the
City of the Living Dead is one where I think everything's the gates are open and the zombies are on the loose, which Fulci was doing zombie movies right around the time Romero was, really. So right after and right before, because he did his Zombie, which they, you know, ripped off to capitalize on Dawn of the Dead right after that, and then
Zombie.
And then he had his trilogy here kind of before Romero came back with Day of the Dead. So they were doing zombies around the same time.
But it's like his zombies are not like typical zombies. They're like zombie possessed demon people. Like
they're a little different.
There are a lot of things going on with the zombies. They're not like your typical, you know, brain zombies.
Really, you know, over the years we've had a lot of different versions of what zombies were. until really The Walking Dead. After The Walking Dead came out, all the zombies you see are kind of the same. Because, you had Romero's, before Romero, the zombies were all like created by like witchcraft or voodoo. Mm-hmm. Romero had it. He really didn't even call them zombies, and it was supposed to be ghouls. And, then you had Fulci's zombies, like you said. They're like, are they demons or whatever? Then in that movie that, was it Bava did, Demons? They're kind of zombies in that, too. You get bit or scratched by them. You turn into one of them. They're demons. They're zombies. And really, then, and then we had, like, Zack Snyder's remake of it where you got the fast-running zombies. And after The Walking Dead came out, all the zombies were the same, Because that show took a, big splash in the public that everything was like, oh, okay, well, we need to make our zombies like The Walking Dead so people can relate to it.
Yeah, which is crazy because it's like it's dead people running around. So,
but you know how these marketing people are. They're like, well, we got something we can market now. They can go, it's The Walking Dead on a plane.
Oh my goodness. Well, let's hope that that's not what's going to happen with this. We need just a regular Fulci zombies that are not on a plane. We just want to see them in a house by the cemetery and or the city
of the living dead.
See what I did there?
I did.
And
we know some eyeballs are going to get ripped out, though.
That's for sure. Definitely some eyeballs. Are we going to have some like 70s disco music playing while someone's being like trampled by... I was going to say slugs or tarantulas.
Oh, man, the tarantulas.
We don't know what's going to happen in these upcoming movies, but I am definitely excited to see what the fuck is in that man's mind and what he put on the screen, because I'm sure this is, the description for the City of the Living Dead alone is like, basically was like shit you've never seen in a movie. Like,
put your depends on, folks, because you're going to crap your drawers on this one.
So, yes, we look forward to covering that for you. And stay tuned to the horror.
And now, folks, it's time to say goodnight. We sincerely appreciate your patronage and hope we've succeeded in bringing you an enjoyable evening of entertainment. Please drive home carefully and come back again soon. Good night.